Hello everybody, this is Zaxtorian. Today we're going to be taking a look at NeonGalaxy Wars. This is a game that launched on August the 6th, 2017 on Steam at a 99-cent regular price tag, American currency. And this is one of my favorite all-time types of games. Now, I've highly reviewed a lot of these Asteroid style shooters that have launched on Steam over the past 3 or 4 years. And in fact, I launched my own Steam game with Rock and Roll, an Asteroid-style arcade action classic type of game. Is NeonGalaxy Wars worth buying at a 99-cent price tag? We're going to find out right after this. Zaxtor99. Alright everybody, welcome back. NeonGalaxy Wars is a game that when you launch it, it comes up with a default window just like this. Now, there is no options at all. There's no full screen options, there's no sound options, there's no music options. There's nothing here besides play and exit. So already not a very good start, and already I'm feeling like this game might be an asset flip, something bought on the Unity store for just a few bucks and simply had the name changed and flipped over to Steam. We're going to go ahead and jump in and take a look. We're going to go ahead and blow the screen up by clicking the maximize here. Not a good way to go full screen from a game. When we hit play, guys, we see we use our mouse to rotate our ship. We hold the left mouse button to fire. And unlike having a more Asteroids type control mechanism like you would expect, this game simply has D to move down, W to move up, A and D to move left and right, respectively. This is way too simple of a control scheme for this kind of a game, and something like you would not expect for a space shooter. I don't like it at all. I would much rather see if they don't want to go with a classic Asteroid style control scheme, much like I put in my game Rock and Roll. I'd much rather see something like, you know, A and D to rotate and maybe hold your right mouse button to propel forward. Something different than what they have, but this here is just way too simple and doesn't even feel right when you play the game. For example, when you're looking left and you have to hit D to move right, it just feels awkward. It just doesn't feel right, especially for a space shooter. This here also looks extremely weird. Your ship automatically upgrades as you blast asteroids and enemies, and it goes to this point here. I believe this is the highest you can get to, but instead of looking like a spaceship, you look like it looks like an overhead like android or robot. Almost looks like the head and the arms and stuff like that. I mean, it looks like I'm looking at the top of a transformer in space. Really, really bizarre. Other things that I don't like about the game, guys, is the simple fact that every explosion looks the same, no matter if you hit a rock or a ship. Asteroids do not break down into smaller chunks when you hit them, as you would expect of this kind of a game when you're shooting a space rock. This game could not be any simpler, and because it's so damn simple, it really makes me feel like this game is probably an asset flip on the Unity store. I haven't looked yet, but I will look, and if I find that this game is an asset flip that I can find, I will post the link in my review here on Steam. Another thing I don't like is the fact that you don't have even basic things like a number of lives. There's no satisfying death collision when you get hit. Instead, if you get hit, watch this. The things just go right over you, and if things touch you for X number of seconds, your game is over. No lives, no collision if an enemy ship hits you. Instead, it just kind of wigs out there until your game is over. Completely bizarre, and I hate that. NeonGalaxy Wars, guys, let's go ahead and be quite honest, is not worth any amount of money in this current state. This feels like either an asset flip, like I say, or a game that is just rushed to try to make a quick dollar off of old school gamers like myself who tend to like these kind of games. The bright colors used and calling it NeonGalaxy Wars does not help sell this game at all. This game is as dull, as repetitive, and as basic as you could possibly get. go ahead and review the game, guys, and give it a score based on my scoring system that I use for all these Steam games. Value, guys, it's worth 40 points. It is the biggest and most important part of my criteria, and you would think NeonGalaxy Wars with a 99-cent price tag would do fairly well here. We'll think again. Guys, to get a good value score, you have to have, in my opinion, you have to have at least as many hours of gameplay for the average player as you have dollars in cost. So that means for a 99-cent game, you would expect to get at least an hour of good solid gameplay over the life of the game on your Steam account. Most people, however, though, I think are going to play this game 5 to 10 minutes tops and never play it again. That is not a good value for this game. And because of that, guys, I'm going to give this game a very generous 5 out of 40 for value. I don't even think it deserves that, to be quite honest with you. Next part of my criteria, the next most important thing in my scoring is fun. How much fun is the game? It's worth a lot more than like graphics and sound, because I've played a lot of games with graphics not even as good as this game has that have been a pure joy to play and a lot of fun. Fun is worth 30 points in my scoring, guys, and this game just does not deliver on the fun. It's very repetitive. You will be bored out of your mind in about 5 minutes, if not less. And it's the same thing over and over again with collisions and explosions that look the same no matter what you shoot. There's no rock crumbling. There's no there's no asteroids breaking down into smaller chunks, which could at least make this game feel a little better. And the controls, like I say, are just completely way too basic and don't even feel right for this type of a game. Fun, guys, is a 2 out of 30. And again, I think I'm being generous. I should probably give it a 0 because I think the fun is pretty much non-existent in this one. But I'm going to go ahead and give it a 2. And my next part of my scoring is controls and bugs. It's worth 20 points, guys. And it basically asks, how are the controls and how are the bugs? Well, we already know that the controls are completely garbage. WASD to move around in this game, a game like this, doesn't even feel right. It's just way too simple, and it just feels awkward and bizarre. So for that, I'm going to knock 10 points off the controls and bugs because it just feels so awkward and so lackluster. Let's put it that way. We also have other bugs like this. The fact that you can shoot an asteroid and your bullets actually hit and cause explosions is fine. But when an enemy hits you and then just wigs out until your game is over, that is a bug in my opinion. It doesn't even have proper collision effects, as you can see right here. Look at that. Does that look right? That's not right. I'm going to take 5 points off, guys, for not even having basic collision effects when an enemy or an asteroid hits your ship. Just completely lazy development here. And this game is not in early access. Let me go ahead and remind you. So we're already down to a 5 out of 20. And guys, I haven't even included the fact that this game will just simply minimize and exit the game at random times for no reason at all. It'll simply close out and go right back to your desktop, which has already happened to me several times in the first few minutes of playing the game. Don't know what causes that, but guys, 2 out of 20 feels like a generous score for controls and bugs for this game. The last and least important part of my scoring is graphics and sound. How does this game score as far as graphics and sound? It does have music in the background. You got some really basic shooting sounds. No kind of collision or explosion effects, however, which is something you would expect in this kind of a game, to hear rocks busting up and enemies blowing up, but you don't even hear that. The sound is way too basic, way too lazy, and the music track that they do use is just, it feels like a 20-second track played over and over again. It's way too short. The graphics are as basic as they can get in this game, and no kind of feeling of depth at all to the 2D sprites, and every asteroid is exactly the same. There's simply no variation in what the rocks look like. Way too simple, way too rushed, and even the graphics and sound feel like a rushed mess. Another thing that makes me feel like this game is probably just an asset flip that somebody purchased for a couple of bucks on the Unity store and then flipped over to Steam without any work whatsoever and a 99-cent price tag. Graphics and sound, guys, here gets a very low score for its way too basic, way too simple look and feel. 2 out of 10 is being generous here, guys. So if we add that all up, a value of a 5, a fun of a 2 is 7. We give it a 2 for controls and bugs is a 9, and a 2 for graphics and sound is an 11. This game gets an 11% score, guys, for me. Basically a 1 out of 10, and I definitely cannot recommend this game. Even at a 99-cent price tag, guys, this game is a massive fail. Save your dollar, save your 25 cents, whatever this game costs on Steam, it's simply not worth it, even if you're a big Asteroids type fan like I am. 11% is my score. Stay far, far away from this game. There are much better options for games like this, one of them being my very own Rock and Roll. While it costs more, my game definitely delivers a lot more game value than this one does. Check that out. And another game that's even cheaper to buy than my game is BitBlaster XL, a very fun Asteroid style shooter that is done about 50 times better than this one and has a small price tag as well, I believe 99 cents or $1.99. BitBlaster XL is a way better option than this. And there we see, guys, it just closed out all by itself. That's what I'm talking about. 11% is my score, guys. Stay far, far away from NeonGalaxy Wars, even at a sell price of 66 cents, guys. This game is a stay far away. Save your 66 cents. Throw 50 cents on the street instead, and that'll be a better way to spend your money. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Be sure you comment down below. Let me know if this video has helped you stay away from this game. Take care, everybody. This has been Zaxtor99. Peace.